Hi everybody, Coach Tiffany here. Okay, so I was just on a minute ago. Hopefully it didn't screw anybody up to have to get on another live instead. But my screen was black, it wasn't working, and then it said my video stopped. So I'm not sure what happened, but I switched to my phone. Oh, hi there. So some of you may have seen I just published a little while ago my Womanifesto. So when I was at Camp Yes, they had play shops, and one of the ones that I went to was hosted by Savannah, and it was amazing. And gosh, we all cried. Everyone was brave and vulnerable, and their manifestos were just beautiful. And so I came up with one, and I wanted to share it and then talk a little bit about what that means to me. Talking about mindset and judgment, and really for me this all boils down to knowing our value and our worth. So I'm going to go ahead and read it, and then I'll dive into the coaching piece. So here we go. I'm reading it off my computer, so I hope that doesn't seem weird, but the ripple effect of no matter what. I believe we are each valuable and worthy of love and respect no matter what. Our value and worth cannot be reduced by how we look, by our bra size, or what the scale says today. It cannot be reduced by whether we did all the shoulds, by how many things we check off our to-do list, or what we ate today. It cannot be judged by whether we are a good daughter, sister, or wife, if we want children, or how we choose to rear them. Deeply knowing our value is constant and that we are worthy of love and respect no matter what creates a ripple effect within us. This small but powerful ripple that starts with knowing our value and worth grows into knowing we deserve love and respect no matter what. And it grows still larger from loving ourselves fully into permission to make ourselves the priority without guilt or shame. Hi, Jacqueline. And the ripple expands into living our highest self no matter what. Living our highest self grows into having our greatest impact. As this powerful and now large ripple expands all the way out and meets the shore, we help others to know that they too are worthy of love and respect no matter what. Hi, Margaret. All right, so that's my Womanifesto. And a Womanifesto is kind of a take on manifesto, and it's really meant to be a declaration. And so, we were given prompts, and the I believe prompt just really stuck with me. This is truly what I believe, and learning this at my core has really been the thing that has made me, finally be okay, like not struggle all the time. And, this really boils down to loving myself. But what I found was that it was challenging to love myself fully and to understand my value and my worth, and that it wasn't connected to me being, achieving certain things, or me making other people happy. As a nurse, that's my go-to is like trying to take care of others. And I find a lot of joy in that. But when my value and my worth depended on that, it was a real struggle because I never felt like I could do enough. And the work that I did at the hospital, wasn't designed to, ever be done, right? Like the work was never enough. And our system isn't set up in a way to really help people as much as they need help, or in the ways that they really, truly need help. So I often feel like I, was just putting a Band-Aid on it. And that didn't feel good. And I often felt like I was falling short of what needed to get done. So anyways, in my coaching work, I get to work with people on a deeper level and really help them to know their value and their worth. And this is really tied into food and our relationship with food, because when we know our value and our worth, first of all, we're able to, like I said, make ourselves a priority, right? And take care of ourselves, like replenish, take time to fill our cups, sleep enough, right? Like take that time to do the self-care that we need in order to feel okay and be stable and feel well. And it also allows us to let go of judgment. So judgment, I find, is a huge barrier in having a healthy relationship with food, because when we judge ourselves around food, then we have shame. and we beat ourselves up, right? And so then that makes us feel worse, which makes our cortisol go up and makes us more stressed, right? And makes us want to eat more and have that kind of emotional eating cycle. And so letting go of judgment, it also empowers us to really look critically at what's going on with our food intake. Like, why am I needing to eat a bag of potato chips every night? Or why do I, want the whole bucket of ice cream? And I don't believe that most of the time it's actually because of emotional eating. I think that's a message that we've been sold by the dieting industry, because if they keep us believing that we're broken and that we're not good enough, then they have some solution that we can buy to fix us, right? So letting go of that judgment and just trusting our bodies, that the messages our bodies are giving us, or there's a reason our body's giving us that signal or that message. It could be because we have a bacterial overgrowth in our gut. Somebody suggested the other day to another person on the group that maybe there was a mold component. So, sometimes it could be something that you would never even think of, but those things can cause us to feel low energy or to have cravings for carbohydrates. Maybe our cortisol is really high and our body's trying to give us the message that we need to slow down, right? So that gets tied back into knowing our value and our worth, and that we deserve to care for ourselves on a really deep level, and we deserve to make ourselves a priority, not a priority, the priority, right? And I say that having raised two children, my daughter's 20, my stepson's going to be 20 in 10 days, and I wouldn't have ever felt like it was okay to say, like, I'm the priority in my life. And that doesn't mean that I don't care for other people in my life, that I don't, in fact, because I make myself the priority and I feel well enough, I can actually invest more time and energy into the people that I love, right? But I thought it was the other way around. I thought I had to put everybody else first and everything else first. And I just kept falling short every day. So, anyways, going back to judgment. So letting go of judgment, because we know that that our value isn't tied to how we ate or what there's no need to judge that anymore if we know our value and our worth. So letting go of that judgment really creates this freedom to where we can explore why things are happening, listen to our body, and then figure out what will work for our body with what our body needs. So I need, I need to eat really consistent, healthy meals, but I need to eat like 4 times a day. I need to have higher quality animal protein, and usually I need more vegetables and less kind of carby stuff. When I eat carby stuff, I have a crash, right? I need to avoid cane sugar because it gives me a headache every single time. Sometimes it's worth it. Sometimes it's not. Like at Camp Yes, I had this gluten-free biscuit, and I had some jam on it, and it was like within a half an hour I had a headache, and I was like, why did I, that wasn't worth it. But believe me, when it's like my birthday or my daughter's birthday, we're going to Kira's because I want a gluten-free cupcake, and that is worth it, right, on those days. So it allows me to have this freedom and let go of judgment, let go of the shame around food. It frees up a lot of energy to figure out what is best for my body, and let go of the kind of cultural ideas and messages that we get. So mindset is a really big piece of it. And, learning that we are valuable and worthy no matter what, valuable and worthy of love and respect no matter what, was pivotal for me. And I think for a lot of people, maybe the concept is there, but the actual practice of it is the challenge, right? And so it comes twofold. It comes from kind of making a choice, and it comes from actually practicing it. So love to me is a verb, it's an action. And so taking consistent loving action toward loving ourselves no matter what. So, saying affirmations when we find ourselves beating ourselves up, like, okay, I don't need to do that. I can give myself some forgiveness and some love, right? Doing work around forgiveness and shame. So Brene Brown's work is amazing. I have it right here. I say the Ho'oponopono prayer, which is, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and then thank you. And then I have another affirmation that I say that is, something along the lines of forgiveness is a gift I give myself, and that I was doing the best that I could in that moment in time with the skills that I had. So the skills that I had at that time, right? So, the skills I have right this minute, generally they grow, but there's times maybe I walk out the door and, I see, I don't know, I see somebody that, maybe causes stress in my life, right? So then I'm stressed out. And then I go and there's like a lot of traffic. And then maybe I get in a little fender bender, right? And then if somebody comes up to me and says something rude, like my skills in that moment are going to be less than they are right now in this moment. So acknowledging that, right? Like I did the best I could with the skills I had in that moment in time. And then I say something like, today is a new day and I will do better. Or I'm a different person and I will do better. So, so there's lots of ways to start to practice loving ourselves and knowing our value and our worth no matter what. But mostly it's really being kind to ourselves, like all the time, and kind of protecting ourselves, having boundaries for people and situations and cultural messages that don't support that. So, if you're struggling with food, like setting boundaries around letting other people comment on your food or your weight, and being around people who are loving and kind to themselves around food, right? And that have a balanced approach rather than hanging out with your friend who always eats perfectly, who's like 10 feet tall and runs marathons, right? Unless they're really loving and kind to you about it and they're supportive, right? But if they're like, you just gotta do this super extreme restrictive diet, probably not the best person to hang out with if you're struggling around value and worth and food. And your aunt who wants to try to guilt you into eating, that might not be the person to hang out with either for a little while. Or if you do, just say like, I'm really not hungry. I really don't need that right now. Or I really don't want to discuss my weight or food or any of that. Just really having strong boundaries. So kindness, forgiveness, having strong boundaries, taking care of yourself in practice rather than, it does become a should sometimes, but looking at it as I deserve this. And I'm so sorry, guys. There's so much happening outside. I feel like this always happens. Maybe it's the time of day, but like get on here and there's like the mailman and there's some people working on somebody's yard and like recycling people get here. Anyway, so I get distracted. I really need like a shade or something. So that's my manifesto. It's my true belief that each of us are valuable and worthy of love and respect no matter what, that our value is constant, and that living that in practice is the thing that will heal our relationship with food. It will heal our relationships with ourselves, and it will allow us to have, to have a greater impact into the world, and will allow us to support other people in that same journey. So gosh, I'm not sure what else I wanted to talk about today. There was a lot about snacks. So maybe if you are watching this, like write your favorite, any thoughts and feedback, of course, about my Will Manifesto. I'm thinking of putting it on my website. Whether or not you feel like you are able to live knowing knowing your value and your worth, and loving yourself fully, or whether that's something you struggle with. And then maybe put your favorite snack. I'm going to be talking a little bit more about snacking. That's more the logistical piece, right? So if we love ourselves and we know that we're valuable, and we're worthy of love and respect, then we want to treat ourselves with love, right? And so in practice, that looks like actually feeding ourselves quality food. That looks like making sure that we invest the time and the money that it takes to having quality food on hand at all times. So, for me, it was always doing Sunday food prep. And it looked like writing out my menu for the week on like a Thursday, going grocery shopping or ordering groceries on like Friday, and then Sunday spending time in the kitchen. And now it looks like loving myself enough to know that I don't really have time or energy for that in my life right now. And so I use No Mess Chef. They're amazing. They bring me food. Chef Neil is so great. And his wife, Tiffany, she's also Tiffany. She's wonderful as well. They're local in Portland. So if you are in the Portland area, it's an option for you. And so, yeah, they bring me meals to supplement, and they have lots of options, but I choose the paleo option. So I get lots of veggies and quality animal protein. And so I know I'm going to get that in every single day. And then whatever else I choose to make or, purchase is kind of supplemental to that. So like my base meals are super quality, right? And that's what loving myself looks like today. Like having, knowing like I'm just too busy for this, and that I need to invest the money to purchase enough quality food that I maintain my wellness, right? But it also means loving myself enough to not judge myself when I do eat something. The other night I ate like potato chips and coconut milk ice cream and some cheese. Like that was dinner. And it was, I had not been eating enough for a few days. I was really hungry and I was really tired, and I didn't have anything in the fridge that sounded good, right? So I know myself enough that I need to have those things available. But if I fail to do that sometimes, that doesn't mean I'm a bad person. It doesn't mean I'm a failure. It doesn't mean I'm a bad coach. It simply means that I didn't plan. And so I just chalked it up to this is what I needed in the moment. And, again, did the best I could with the skills I had today. And, tomorrow's a new day and I will do better. So anyways, I hope that was somewhat inspiring. And again, don't forget about snacks. Let's see, I was trying to think of what I love for snacks. Well, one thing that I love for a snack that's actually not a snack is a really quality drink. So and I can't really see it, but I posted a picture of this the other day. I've been making matcha, coconut milk, lavender lattes at home. Well, not lattes, I guess. I guess it's a latte. Anyway, I don't put coffee in it, but it's got the caffeine from the green tea. And it doesn't have, I put a little honey and I put, full fat coconut milk from the jar or from the can. So it doesn't have any additives or preservatives. It's just simply coconut milk, honey, a drop of lavender essential oil, and matcha, along with some hot water. And then I mix it all up. And I also love drinking golden milk. So when I don't want the caffeine, I make basically this with coconut milk, turmeric, honey, a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of pepper, and, sometimes you can put other spices in it if you want some ginger or something like that. But it's delicious and it's super filling and energizing. And as we get closer to fall, here in Portland, it's been like in the 70s. Yesterday was a little warmer and gorgeous, but as we get closer to fall, I'll be posting more about these delicious drinks that I love to create at home that are super yummy and satisfying, but also nourishing. So getting a little bit of extra healthy fat in my diet is really important to me and makes a big difference in my satisfaction level and my need for snackies. Anyway, lots of stuff. I just am kind of rambling at this point, so I'm gonna let you guys go. But I'd love to hear your thoughts, and I will continue to post about the mindset piece and loving ourselves, but also the logistics of like how to actually get vegetables in your body. All right. I hope you have a great day.